is fixed real quick. Give me 1 second. Then let's go ahead and pull this up as well. All right, cool. So we should be back up and running. So like we were talking about, we were going over a few different things when it came to FOMC. But real quick, let me make sure that this is actually working. So give me a second. All right. And then let's go ahead and click here. There we go. Okay, perfect. It's working now. It is working now. All right, y'all. We are back. We are back. My apologies, guys. I had to go ahead and fix that for you guys. So we should be good now. There should be like a yellow arrow right here. Do you guys see a yellow arrow right here? Let me know. Just drop a yes if you guys see the yellow arrow right there. Okay, yeah, it's working now. My bad, y'all. I had to jump off here. I had to fix that because that was going to be very fucking irritating if I streamed this whole thing and it wasn't working. So now you guys are able to register by clicking right here, this yellow button right there. You'll be able to register for the live workshop there. Okay, so we should be good. Let's go ahead and make sure that we have our chat up. All right, cool. If you guys are coming back from the last live, just go ahead and say what's up down below. All right. So somebody asked me like, where would your ideal entry would have been for this particular setup? So the first thing is the 2 p.m. candle, right? So you would have been able to wait for 145. You mark out the 3 bar, which is right here. So you're basically taking calls above here or puts below here. Okay, so basically this is the criteria. And then if I were to look for this trade, my target would have been all-time highs, me personally. So my target wouldn't have gotten hit, but this paid so much. I mean, this is a $4 move on IWM. I mean, this is 400% plus on this trade alone, right? So, you know, with that being said, one of the things to kind of consider when you guys are watching these and setting targets is if it's a high volume or a high volatility day, you know, taking into consideration that you might want to just take profits where you see fit. Or you can use round levels, round numbers. So you can look at 243.50 as a target, right? Or 243 as a target. Or you could have used 244 as a target. So, you know, how would you look at exiting this trade? Well, your entry is here based off of a 3 bar. So you mark out the high and the low of this candlestick. You take the break, right? My targets would have been 244 or 243, right? And these are just round numbers that you guys can use that, you know, price can likely go and retest, okay? Yo, appreciate you, Lo, for sharing the live, bro. If you guys were in here in the last live, just get us back to like 10K likes. We were at like 4,000 or 5,000, but I had to end the stream to make sure I can fix this yellow button for y'all. So it should be fixed right now. Taylor, can you see this yellow button right here? It should be a arrow, a yellow arrow, or a yellow box with a white arrow. What's up, Victoria? When did you hop on? I have been on for a little minute, but the stream was kind of messing up, so I had to go ahead and fix it. I need to start posting about the times that I'm gonna go live. Hey, Victoria, can you let me know if you see this yellow button right here? Okay, Taylor said yes. Okay, cool. I appreciate you guys. All right, cool. Back to the regular scheduled program. All right, cool. So the first entry is here, this 3 bar. These are your targets, 244, 243, okay? Where would a second entry would have been, right? Where would a second entry be? The one that I took, right? The one that I took is, hey, we got to these levels, but we're struggling to hold. We're struggling to hold, and you have the rest of the market selling off. So you could have taken, and I took a risky trade here. This is a little bit against my trading plan as far as my entries go, but ended up working it. But it doesn't excuse the fact that it didn't meet the full criteria of my trading plan. Yes, I know this, right? So I took the trade coming back through 243.50. As we were coming back through here, I took the trade, I took puts, and then price swung all the way back down, and my target was these recent highs right here. Right? So you could have looked for the move up, or you could have looked for the reaction back down. So if the move happened too quickly to the upside, there's likely going to be some downside. You can't time the entry to the downside. I mean, it could have kept running, right? But what I did is I have like multiple charts up. So I'll have QQQ up. I'll have you know, SPY up, S&P 500. What's up, Tez? What's up, KJ? I'll have these tickers up, and then when I see those pulling back heavy, and IWM is like slowly kind of pulling back, that's when I say, okay, they're moving first. This one's likely just moving a little bit slower. I'll take the entry, and that's why I took the entry. Does that make sense? Yo, what's up, KJ? Hope all is well, bro. Does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense as to why I took the entry? I appreciate you guys sharing the live. Much love, much love, much love. T, thank you for the follow. Let me make sure I update my subs real quick. Dale, thank you for the sub. Emilio, thank you for the sub. Carter, thank you for the sub. Scoob, thank you for the sub. Kimberly, thank you for the sub. Greatly appreciate all the subs. Shout out to all my people here on YouTube. What up, Affluent? Hope all is well, bro. Hope all is well. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, perfect. So this is your first entry right here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove these real quick just so people don't get too confused. So we understand the entry up, right? We understand the move back down, okay? Where would another entry have been at, right? In this, the button is fixed. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I had to log off and fix it. So yeah, if you guys are interested in joining a private Zoom call, if you have a 9 to 5 and you have a few $1,000s liquid, you're not completely broke, right? Come to this live trading workshop this Sunday. We're currently at like 950 something registrants right now, but you guys can literally click this yellow button right here and you'll be able to register for the live workshop. You'll be able to reserve your seat. It's free to reserve a seat, but at the end of the day, if you're complete broke, you should not be trading, and I'm gonna keep stating that. So if you're not completely broke and you have an active income, you have a few $1,000s liquid, fill out that form right there. It'll take you to go register for the live trading workshop. It takes maybe 60 seconds, if that. But yeah, yes, it'll be full by end of day tomorrow. Literally, we're at like 950 right now. All right, cool. So we know the move up, we know the move down, right? Another move you could have looked for is a continuation move to the downside, which would be this 3 bar right here. So this 3 right here is high selling intent, right? This is a majority of sellers being in control on this particular candlestick. So what you could have done is, once you see we made this this lower high here and we started rejecting and coming back down, when this candle closes, you could have looked for the continuation. So this is where I called out an entry. We ended up trading this. We had like an FOMC watch party in my Discord, where basically we all just jumped on Zoom and just watched Powell speak. And I called out puts under 240, right, which is a round level, a round number. And as you guys can see, when it triggered, I mean, we just got a continuation. Once the candle closed like this, I was very, very confident that we would get the continuation move to the downside. And the reason being is because when you see a candle like this, I actually just made a video about this inside of my Discord group, where we talk about the anatomy of a candlestick and how a candlestick closes and how vital it is to your trading. I think a lot of people get faked out because they don't wait until the candlestick closes. And this is something that I had to learn through just L's upon L's upon L's. Yo, Eddie, thank you for the gifted. Appreciate you, my brother. Sasha, thank you for the gifted as well. Greatly appreciate all of you. This is something I had to learn just by losing money, right? When you don't wait for a candlestick to close, there is no real confirmation, right? So what do I mean by this? We could, like this for example, you could have taken puts at this level, right? Let's say this candle's open and price is all the way down here and you took puts because you thought, oh, we're going to break under 237 and go back to 235. But the problem is you didn't wait until the candlestick closed. So what happens now is the candlestick reverses and you got faked out. And this is how people are getting faked out so often. They're not waiting until the candlestick just close. And most people can't sit there and just be patient enough. Like, you can see a trade trigger, right? And then they're just so antsy. They just, I can't control it. I gotta click buy. I gotta click it. And then when you get faked out, you're like, oh my God, I should have never did it. I should have I should have did this. I should have did that. When in reality, the one key lesson you just needed to know is that you just need to wait until the candlestick closes. Right? Just wait till the candlestick closes. If you got an actionable signal, wait for the candlestick close and take the trigger. Exactly, take the trigger. Right? So what do I mean by this, right? This candlestick closed like this. When you see a very large body candlestick close like this, this is like confirmation that we can move, like this particular party is in control. So think of a candlestick as buyers and sellers are at war. They're in a battle. Well, sellers are currently losing this, right? I mean, not sellers. Buyers are currently losing this, right? So this candlestick closes lower with a very, very, very small wick at the bottom, and then you get a continuation. Your target would have been this level because this is a key level. This is previous month highs. This is last month's highs, 237.06. Price came down and literally came smack to 237.06. That's a great tip because I have a problem with taking premature entries. Yeah, it happens, right? Like if you're waiting for an entry, wait until the candlestick closes before just jumping into the entry. It's the same thing if you go to a lower time frame. You can go to like a 5-minute candle and you can say, hey, I'm gonna wait until we get a candlestick that closes under this level before I take my entry. What is the difference between the candle and the wick? So there's the body and the wick, right? The candlestick makes up the entire body and wick. This part right here, the thicker part of the candlestick, pause, right? This is the body. The wicks are just the ends, right? So this is the wick, this is the wick. It just shows how high prices went and how low price went. I had to say it, bro. You know how people are, bro. You know how people are. Is this making sense? Is everybody tracking me right now? Drop a yes down below. Do you think a 30-minute close is better confirmation than a 30-minute? Yeah, because it's a higher time frame. It paints a better picture. How likely is it to go to the downside when a 3 candle like that closes 80%? Well, it doesn't matter if it's a 3 candle or if it's a 2 candle. What matters is the type of body that the way that the candlestick closes. So how likely? I mean, there's no like percentage that I can go off of. Anybody who could give you a percentage right off the top of the dome is probably lying, right? What I'll tell you is that there's higher chances that we get a continuation move. I'm picking up what you put down, twin. Great, Des. I'm happy for you. Has there ever been a fake out where it goes to the upside? Yeah. $2 move on IWM paying like crazy. Absolutely. And especially the time of the day for these contracts. Especially the time of the day. So like the key element that you guys have to take away from this specific live, right, is 1, red folder days, important days in the market where there is important information coming out, right? When there is important information coming out, yes, you can make a lot of money, but you can also get smoked. We made a lot of money in my group. And I'm not saying this to sell anybody on my group because my group is currently closed. So you can't buy it anyways, right? But I'm just telling you this is the reality. You could have made money to the upside or the downside because it's such a volatile move. It's such a crazy, crazy, crazy volume day, right? Because there's so much built up anticipation around this, right? So FOMC is one of those days. Unemployment claims is tomorrow. Expect a lot of volatility tomorrow and going into Friday. Fridays are normally high volatility days. What do I mean by high volatility? This means a lot of people are trading. If you're tracking me right now, I only had like 5 people say yes, they're tracking me right now, right? On the last time I asked y'all. So if you're in here and you have not typed anything yet, comment yes if you're following along. Okay, I need to make sure, or I'll just jump off the live if I'm not resonating, if shit is just not clicking, I'll just jump off the live and y'all can go about y'all day. You can continue scrolling and watching some other live, but I just need confirmation. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, the more engaged y'all are with me, the easier it'll make my life. So if we can just all be on the same page, that'll help. Okay. Let's take a look at a couple other tickers though. Good. All right, we tracking. Let's take a look at what ticker should we look at? Somebody name a ticker we need to look at today. Somebody name a ticker. I'm just trying to learn. First day here. Welcome in, Cherry. It's good to have you. Here we go with this camera. We're currently looking at IWM. All right, let's look at Tesla. Shout out to Cammy. Let's look at Tesla. Okay. Let me do that. Okay, boom. Is my camera back on? It is not. 1 second, y'all. I think my camera is overheating again. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, there we go. So we're gonna look at Tesla right now. Okay, we're gonna look at Tesla. So Okay, good. You guys should be able to see me right now. Oh my gosh, this camera is cooked, bro. I think my camera just completely overheated. 1 second, guys. Let me fix this. I just need to buy another camera at this point. Oh, wow. I dropped the charger. Give me 1 second, y'all. Just cooked myself, bro. All right, there we go. All right, cool. My bad, y'all. My camera is like completely cooked. Completely cooked. I was just recording a YouTube video too, so it's probably overly cooked. All right. So with Tesla, Robinhood was, I don't know how people use Robinhood. They don't sell your funds like Webull. Yeah, Robinhood is. I told y'all this before. I personally think Webull is going to be a better platform overall. Even if you're a beginner, yes, it is a little bit less beginner friendly to navigate, but I still think that Webull is going to be your best bet. You're going to end up going to Webull either way. You're going to end up going to Webull or Thinkorswim. Is there a lot of top traders that use Robinhood? Yes, and it works for them. But with the issues that I had, I'm good on it, right? So let's take a look at Tesla today, okay? Let's take a look at Tesla. So with Tesla, you know, we were kind of holding up these lows of the day around 411. So 411 is a level that you kind of want to watch on Tesla, right? So what we ended up having is price kind of hovering around this area up until we had FOMC, all right? Which is, again, the interest rate cut. Now, what happens is at 2 p.m., you had a strong push up in Tesla before we seen a very, very big sell-off. Now, you wouldn't have wanted to short this until we broke these lows back at like 409. Shout out to Hen for the sub. Thank you. You wouldn't have wanted to short this. You don't take puts, right, until we break the level, right, which we never did. So we end up swinging back, right, with the rest of the market, and then we ended up pushing back higher. So we broke the highs of the day, and then what's likely to happen this week by tomorrow, we should be able to retest 430. If Tesla can get through 430, if we go up to a higher time frame and we go over and we look at, you know, resistance, if we break 430, we will see 433 next, which is back here. We'll see 432 next, and then 439. So when price breaks above 430, you can look at 433 being a target, 439 being a target, and then you got these wicks up here at 465, and then you got all the way up at like 488, which is going to be all-time highs for Tesla. So that's how you would break it down. You would just go up to a higher time frame and you would look and say, hey, where is the next wick at? Where's the most recent highs, the most recent lows? Does that make sense? Do you use EMAs? I used to, but not anymore. I just use the VWAP. Let me fix this right here. Okay. I don't know why the chat isn't pulling up on YouTube and here, but we'll do what we can with what we got. Everything making sense right now though, right? If everything is making sense, get us to 10K likes. I want to make sure that this like meets the minimum requirement for me to keep my 5%. Right now I'm in the top 5 to 7% of live streamers on TikTok, and I need to keep a minimum of at least 10 to 15,000 likes per stream in order to keep it there. So just keep spamming it and I'll greatly appreciate it. What do the numbers mean on your chart? I actually have a YouTube video that you can go watch that explains everything. 1s, 2s, and 3s, but it's called the Strat. Yeah, my camera is completely cooked, y'all. For swinging shares, what % dip are you looking to load up on shares? For me, about 20 to 25% dip. That is what I'm looking for. If I'm like trying to load up my account, I want to see a retracement of about 20 to 25% on a particular stock, right? So like that is how, so again, how I got started with trading was swinging shares. So swinging shares, oh my gosh, bro. Just found your channel. Good stuff. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Oh my gosh, bro. This camera is annoying the fuck out of me, bro. There's gotta be somebody who understands how to fix this, please. Somebody save me. Oh my gosh. But when I was swinging shares, me personally, I would wait for like a 25, either a 20 to 30% drawdown in the stock before I start loading up, like loading. Would you recommend Tradeovate for a brokerage as a beginner? If you're doing futures, Tradeovate is great. Do you look at the fundamentals on Yahoo Finance when you swing shares? I do, absolutely, 100%. What are some good signals to enter a trade? Actionable signals. So I would say failed 2s or 3s. Can you look at UNH? Sure, let's take a look at UNH. UNH is actually on my watch list. If UNH can break back through 344 tomorrow, I'll be looking for calls to swing into next week. My target on this is 352. So if we break through 344 tomorrow, I'll likely look for calls. The gap fill at 346, and then all the way up here at 353. These will be great targets to have. And then UNH has a really big gap that it can fill, but likely you'll probably need a little bit more time on the contracts. So remember, you guys have expiration dates on the contracts. So when you guys are options trading, there's 3 fundamental things you need to know. There's the strike price, which is where you think the price is going to get to, where you think the stock is going to get to price wise. There's the expiration date. When does this contract expire, right? And then you also have the premiums, how much you buy the contracts for. Y'all tracking me? Drop a yes in the chat if y'all tracking. Okay. This is Demaya. This is TradingView. Everyone should have TradingView. This is like your safe haven. This is the place that you are going to be spending majority of your time if you plan on trading. Okay. If you plan on trading, this is where you're going to spend a lot of time. Okay. I need more yeses than that. Let's get 100 yeses in a row. I got 157 of y'all in here. It only takes you who is just looking at this and like, I don't feel like typing it. Just YES. Just click that. Okay. But yeah, UNH actually looks pretty good here. If you go up to the daily time frame, this is actually the reason why I like this trade. So this is a failed 2 down, right? So this is a failed 2 down on a daily chart. So what does this mean? This means that price pushed lower, right? We pushed lower, but we failed to stay lower, right? We failed to stay at these lows. So now buyers step back in and we push it back up and we close higher. So this is an actionable signal. So when you're looking at the strat, an actionable signal is basically, hey, you want to do something when you see this candlestick, right? So the way that I would look at taking this trade is I will mark out the high and I will mark out the low of this candlestick here. And then my target is up here, 349.04. And I will grab next week contracts. Is this Robinhood? This is TradingView. So you would take calls above 343. Puts below 337, right? And then these lines here, these are just targets that you can have to the upside and the downside. These are the next likely place that price will bounce from. Okay. Does anyone have any questions on this? So UNH looks like a really good trade for tomorrow. What I can probably do is just go through a couple different stocks with y'all. If we get to 15,000 likes, I'll go through my entire watch list with y'all. I'll basically do all of my analysis with y'all and try to find the trades that I'll look for tomorrow and going into next week. This is the Strat Assistant. Strat Assistant. Okay. All right, let's rock and roll. So this is a great entry here above 343. You take it back up to this wick here, these highs, 349. You can also match it up with the flow. So we talked about the flow where you're able to look and see how much money is being put on calls and puts, before you jump into it. So just use it as confirmation. That's kind of how I use it. It's like, hey, am I choosing the right direction or am I going against smart money? That's something that is very important. If you're going against smart money, you got to be careful. What indicator you use for order blocks? Lux Algo. When there's no recent highs, how would you find your next target? The way that I would find my next target, Raphael, is I would use the ATR, the average true range. So this is basically how far the stock can go before it gets exhausted. So let's say, for example, UNH, let's say there was no other recent highs. You would just add $10 into the current stock price and take it as like, hey, this is the furthest it'll get to before it gets exhausted, before it gets too tired. Is this indicator good for scalps or swings only? Well, all the indicators that I use are great for swings, leaps, day trades, scalps. It's good for all of them. It's just what time frames. I think it's more so about what time frames you're using to trade on. I think that's the most important thing that people have to consider. Let's go through the watch list real quick. So we already looked at Tesla actionable signal on the daily time frame. So I'm gonna just basically go through my watch list with y'all. So we're almost at 15K likes. So as you guys get me there, I'll continue to go through this. So for tomorrow, we ended up filling this gap. 419 ended up holding. This is a key level for Tesla. However, this is a 3-2 up on the day. When we break here at 428. And then right here, another person selling. There's literally nothing here to sell you, my brother. We have a 3-2 down on the day. My group is currently closed, so sorry. Do you do QQQ? Yeah, I think we did QQQ already. Are we at 12,000 likes, y'all? Let's get to 15K. All right, so let's look at Tesla. So Tesla, right now, we're looking at this on the daily time frame. We're looking at this on the daily time frame. So you have this 3-bar. You also have all time frames green, right? So all time frames are bullish, okay? All the time frames are currently bullish. All right. So you can also come down to the 4-hour and you can see this continuation. So we really need to break 430, which is this level back here. We need to break above like 430.50 before taking calls, because we could literally get up here and then sell off. Okay. So this is going to be on my watch list for tomorrow. Tesla. Okay. Tesla is on my watch list for tomorrow. Next is Oracle. Let's take a look at Oracle. So Oracle, we ended up coming back down and retesting the daily VWAP, right? Which is volume weighted average price. Oh my God, I need moderators, bro. So bad for the YouTube. I need it so bad. There's no way I can even block him either. Completely cooked. All good. People in my YouTube, just ignore the people in the chat. Yo, Thomas, thank you for the sub. Corey, thank you for the sub. Zachary, thank you for the sub. Dilsher, thank you for the sub. Greatly appreciate you guys. What stocks do you recommend trading for options to someone starting with a 1K account? IWM, QQQ, or SPY. Those contracts are a little bit cheaper than others. Okay. People have so much time on their hands. It's crazy. No problem. All right, cool. So Oracle, we had a retest of the VWAP here. 15K. All right, y'all, we made it there. Next goal is 25K likes, 25K. And I'll give you guys my top trades of the day. Okay. So on the 4-hour time frame, when we come down, we had this bounce at the daily VWAP. Okay. Here, let's see something. We do still have this open gap to the downside. This is something that I'm considering. Thank you. Randomly came up on YouTube or on TikTok. Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you pulling up. So we have this gap fill all the way down here. Oracle still is showing strength around this 290 level. So we've kind of been holding around this level. We found some support here. So, you know, with this kind of being said, this is something that we kind of want to pay attention to, is where is price finding support at? All right. So let me go ahead and pull this up real quick, and let me just go ahead and minimize this, and let's just do it just like that. Boom. Can't even see him. All right, cool. So Oracle, there's no real setup that I would take off of Oracle as of right now. Currently just kind of stuck in this range, so we'll skip past this one. All right, Robinhood. So Robinhood actually showed a ton of strength today after this pullback. So if we go down to a 4-hour time frame, we ended up breaking the lows of the recent 4-hour candle. We went lower. and then you've seen a reversal. So we found some support at this level at about 115, which is around a round key level, or around a round level, right? Ideally, it looks like Robinhood wants to take back 120 and 123. So if Robinhood can get back through 120, you could see 121 next, which is these recent wicks over here. Let me just show you, which are these recent wicks over here. So if Robinhood can get through 120, we're likely to go see that next. So Robinhood, not really like top of my watch list. I would say UNH is on my the top of my watch list. Robinhood is also a 2-1 setup on the weekly time frame as well. And I know y'all, my camera just died, or not died, but blacked out again. Haven't seen you since 2019. How you been, brother? Hope God been blessing you and your daughter. Yo, thank you, man. I appreciate you, bro. I'm very blessed, bro. I honestly cannot complain. Honestly, cannot complain. All right, so that's Robinhood. Let's move on to the next one. Why is UNH the top? We just explained it. Let's look at Coinbase. So Coinbase got absolutely smoked. Oh my God, are they getting torched like this during after hours? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, cool. So let's go up to the daily time frame for Coinbase. So Coinbase actually had a huge recovery, right? It's literally, I mean, it was pretty bad, but this is an amazing recovery, right? This is again an example of price coming down to daily VWAP. Let me go ahead and adjust this. Did you ever think you would be in the position you're at now? Yeah, I always knew I would. I actually don't. I think I'm like not where I could be, right? There's definitely excuses that I've made in certain areas of my life that doesn't have me where I want to be, and that's all on me. And if you guys don't know me, I blame myself for everything. Anything I ever go through is always my fault. I don't have this like people like to blame other things. Like me, I just blame myself because I don't get anything out of blaming anybody else, right? Like I understand that I was built different and I'm meant to accomplish things that most would never accomplish or never have the balls to go after. So it's just like, you know, there's certain times where I might be too tired and things like that, where I know I can go a little bit further. But honestly, I always knew I would be here, to be completely honest. Even when I was sleeping on the floor, when I first had my daughter, like I always knew I'd be successful, because at the end of the day, I knew I would rather die before I give up. And that's how I always knew. It's like, it's either I die or I make it to where I want to get at, or where I want to get to. And that was always the only two options. I never look at anything like I'm going to be average or mediocre. Like that's never been my go-to, you know what I mean? Like even if I'm not where other people on social media are at or in things like that, I used to compare myself a lot, but now I don't, because like the things that I've done for me to come from where I come from and to have the life that I had, I am so blessed. You know what I'm saying? Like I lived in Egypt for 4 years of my life. You know what I'm saying? I had friends that did not have shoes when we went out to go play soccer. I was forced to learn 3 different languages. You know what I mean? Like these are all things that are absolutely blessings. So I never blame any other external factor other than myself as to why I'm not where I want to be. And I think I just don't have a victim mindset, like you said. Like it's either you're good enough or you're not. And like I know that people don't like to look at it like that because they hate facing the hard reality that they're truly not as good as they think they are. And I think that was one of, if not the hardest thing to learn how to accept, is that you are not where you want to be, not because God doesn't love you or because God doesn't want you there. You're not where you want to be because you have not obtained the skill sets to earn that position in life. And like even right now, like we had a lot of people click off of this live, right? Like I just seen like maybe 20 people click off the live. And the thing is like there are just people in the world for the life of them that cannot accept where they are in life. It pisses them off when someone tells them that you are exactly where you deserve to be at based off of what you've done with your time and what you do with your energy. And you know, a lot of people hate that. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people hate being told that it is your fault. Because who else is there to blame? You can blame your mom and what? And then what? Your dad wasn't around. And then what? Am I resonating with some of y'all? Like, let me like, if there's like 50 of y'all out there that I resonate with, just comment yes down below, or facts or something, so I can know that I'm resonating with you, right? Like, I'm pretty sure we all know people who just cannot for the life of them blame themselves or take accountability for anything that they go through in life. And it's kind of crazy when you think about it, because it's like in trading, you can blame the market all you want, but the account that, or the money that left your account, the money that you lost trading, that's still your fault. Because there was nobody who put a gun to your head and told you, hey, click, buy, click sell. Nobody told you that. And I think it's just a hard reality for people to accept. So yeah, I do believe, and I think, I know it went out. I'm trying to get it fixed. My camera just keeps dying because I was recording a YouTube video. But yeah, it's a hard reality for people to accept. Okay, so for Coinbase, not a trade that I'm looking for right now unless we get back over 325. Let's move on to the next. So we already looked at UNH. We know that it's a 3-bar on the daily time frame. Alibaba was actually pretty surprising today. We called it out. I wouldn't even say it was surprising. This was a trade that I called out in the Discord group, and this was off of the 4-hour time frame. So shout out to anyone in TSA who caught this. Crazy how belief will take you a long way. I feel like belief was everything for me. Like, I just always knew I was different. Like, even when people made fun of me in school or like any of this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just always knew that I was different. And like, there's this thing that I had to accept, right? Like right now, most of you guys are here on TikTok, but like I have this guy like just spamming my YouTube, just a whole bunch of negative stuff. And there was one day where like I had a really, really viral post on my Instagram, and I was getting so much negativity. Like, it was changing my perception of myself. Like, it was really making me self-conscious, like dead ass. And that day, like it was so bad to the point where like I wanted to get off of social media like for a long time, right? And that day my mom told me something, right? And I'll never forget it because, I called her. I'm like, I'm so overwhelmed. Like, I don't think I want to do this shit no more. Like, I could disappear and still make money, and I could do all these things, right? And one thing that she told me was like, God didn't build you to go through easy things. That's just not what your life was meant for. Your story is meant to be more. And, when she told me that, I kind of just had to accept that bullshit is gonna come with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if what you're going for in life is something worth having, you gotta accept that there's going to be so much BS that you will want to give up. Because that's their goal, that's their agenda, is to get you to give up. Right? It's the same reason that family and friends don't believe in you. It's because they have this level of, or this perception of you, right? Or this bar sitting at your head. And they're like, we want to keep you there because that's how we know you. Right? That's how we know you. And the thing is like the moment you start exceeding people's expectations of you is the same moment they stop accepting you. Because for the life of them, they don't want to believe that you decided to go out there and change things for yourself, right? And yes, I know my camera's out, guys. My camera's just completely cooked. I know. And there goes the charger once again, right? But for the life of them, they can't accept the fact that, you know what I'm saying, you are somebody worth knowing. Oh my gosh. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna have to keep my camera off for a second so it can stop overheating. 1 second, y'all. I'm still here, y'all. Give me 1 second. At some point, I'm gonna have to get this camera situation fixed. But yeah, there's just certain times where things in life you gotta accept that you were destined for more, and you gotta just do it. So at the end of the day, that's just kind of the reality that you're living in. I'm gonna let my camera recharge for like 2 minutes, y'all. So just stick around. You don't gotta see my face anyways. All right. So this was the Alibaba trade that we ended up sending out. The reason we sent this out was this is on a 4-hour trigger, right? So we had noticed that the market had gapped up. We had ended up gapping up, and we wanted to take this back down to this gap fill. We didn't fully reach the gap fill, but it did pay a little bit. However, the premiums or the contract prices were just super expensive. That was pretty much the only thing about this, is the contracts were pretty expensive. But other than that, it was still a pretty decent trade. It didn't fully hit the target. I mean, we were like, what, $1 off? 30 cents? I mean, yeah, we're about 30 cents off, which is pretty crazy. But yeah. So there's BABA. No trade here on BABA that I like. Let's move on to the next ticker. Next, we got AMD. Nice recovery off this VWAP here on AMD as well on the daily. We'll go down to the 4-hour. This is actually a pretty decent setup for the 4-hour, creating this lower high. I mean, this higher low over here. So if you come over here, have this level, then you have here. So not bad. I would definitely look for 162, and then we could come back up to this order block. Okay. Let's go ahead and move over to the next ticker. So AMD is not one that's on my watch list for tomorrow. Let's take a look at Apple. So Apple has a 2-1 setup. This is an actionable signal on the daily time frame. So you can look for calls above 240, puts below 237. If we come back up and break through 240, we're likely to go see 241.32. And then, you know, there's a few levels above there that you can see. If we break lower, you can see 235, and then maybe even these lows back here. We can actually use this one because they're very close, about 233.36. Okay. Not the top of my watch list. So Palantir is actually one of the ones that's on the top of my watch list. It's AI. You gonna just report the stream. This is, yeah, I know it's AI. I literally can't ban them. Actually, let me see something real quick. Let me see if I can ban them on my cell phone. That would be so amazing. Let's see real quick if I can go here, and I can. That's actually perfect. Oh my God, thank you. Boom. Wow. Got them blocked, y'all. There we go. Shout out to YouTube. So clutch. Get him out of there. Get him out of there. Oh my God, I feel so much better. It was this dude on YouTube. He was just, I'm talking like spamming the chat until the end. Right? It's just crazy. It's crazy. But we got him blocked. Okay. But Palantir, so let's talk about this one. Okay. This gap, I think, was it filled? I think it was filled. Okay. So let's look at Palantir. So I recently, like I said, I talked about this earlier, where I made this course module for the people inside of my Discord group. So if you're in TSA, you guys know about this, right? But we talked about the anatomy of a candlestick, right? And this candlestick right here looks very similar to a hammer, right? A hammer candlestick, okay? What this is showing me right here, like anytime you read a candlestick, anytime you're looking at a chart, you got to look at the picture that it's trying to paint. You got to look at the story that it's trying to tell you. And this particular candlestick is telling you a very, very important story, okay? Price opened and completely sold off. I'm talking an $8 move to the downside. And we revisited the VWAP on the daily time frame. So I can even move this line up to about right here, okay? When we got to the VWAP, so if you don't know what a VWAP is, it's basically support and resistance. Like this, it's like another form of support and resistance. When price gets to this level, this is the next likely place for price to bounce from, okay? So price came all the way down, retested the VWAP, and bounced. So we moved $8 down and then recovered. So think of it like this. There was a dip that got bought up. That's all this candlestick is telling you. So the reason I explained this in the anatomy course of a candlestick is because people forget to read wicks. A wick is when you're rejecting a level, when price doesn't like being at a certain level. So price did not like being at 161. It didn't like it. It didn't like being at any of these levels, which is why buyers stepped in and price pushes up higher. So all of this is showing you that buyers took back control from sellers. So if this is the case scenario and this is a hammer, what I'm looking for now is to see if buyers can continue their momentum. If we can break above about 170, this is a very, 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 very clean trade. The reason it's a clean trade is because 171 is a recent level of resistance, right? With us having the catalyst, right? So what is the catalyst? The news or the specific data or the specific event that is needed for us to push the stock higher. So here's 3 things that you need to have that I like to use, right? This is just me. Key setups, key levels, key catalyst. Are y'all hearing me right now? Let me know. Are y'all hearing me? Drop a yes in the chat if y'all are still tracking me. If you're not asleep, if I didn't bore you to death, if your brain cells are not completely shot, let me know down below. Drop a yes in the chat. I need a lead. There's 200 of y'all in here. Come on, y'all can give me more yeses than that. Just type yes. Okay. Okay, so listen to this. Key setups, key levels, key catalyst. If you have all 3 of these, right, you have a higher likelihood of a trade going in your direction. So what do these 3 mean? A key setup is a strategy that allows you to comprehend what you're looking at on the chart. So you have a specific criteria of when you're getting into a trade and when you're getting out of a trade. So this is your key setup, the strategy or the execution portion. So that's key setup. Key levels, very, very important levels, right? Recent levels of support and resistance. So when you have a key setup around a key level, it is higher probability. Why is it higher probability? Because it's around a level where buyers and sellers or a multitude of people in the market are going to be watching. So here's something you need to know. A chart is a chart is a chart. Tez, what are you talking about? You losing me. A chart is a chart is a chart. Meaning, I am looking at the same chart that you look at. Whether you trade support and resistance, supply and demand, ICT concepts, whatever way you trade, we all look at the same chart. The people on Wall Street who are using moving averages or maybe using supply and demand and support resistance, they're all looking at the same chart. They are all coming up with their own conclusion based off of where price is and what candlesticks that they see. No one has a completely different chart than what you're trading. Everyone's looking at the same thing. Says you on late? I know. I'm hustling. Teaching. Right? So always remember this. A chart is a chart is a chart. Everyone's charts look the same. What strategy you trade is completely up to you. Right? So you have key setups, key levels, which are levels that everyone's watching. And then you have key catalyst, the reason for it to move. The data or the article or the headline or the new deal or the CEO being fired or being hired or something happened with China and the company. Like these 3 things right here can exponentially make you a better trader if you only take trades with these 3 things. Most people can't do that though. Right? Most people can't do it because they don't have the patience, which is the 4th thing that you absolutely need. In order to execute on those 3 at the same time, you have to be patient enough to wait until those 3 present themselves. Does that make sense? You got to be patient enough to wait to see them present themselves. That's the only way. There's no way around it. There's literally no way around it. Okay? Now, before I tell you guys the entries for Palantir, if you're watching this live right now and you have a few $1,000s liquid, you've been struggling with trading, you've been blowing accounts, you've lost countless amounts of money trading, and you're ready to just say, yo, I'm ready to figure this shit out, I got a job, I got an active income, I got a few $1,000s liquid. I'm not completely broke, right? I have a live trading workshop coming up this Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern, where I'll be taking 1,000 traders in a private Zoom call, teaching you the strat, which is the numbers on the screen, smart money concepts, which is order blocks and things like that, and then risk management, how to actually grow your account efficiently. I'll be showing all three of these things in that live workshop. If you want to reserve a free seat to this live workshop, all you have to do if you're watching this TikTok is click this yellow button or orange button with a white little arrow, right? You should see it right down there. It'll say Service Plus. What you're gonna do is you're gonna put your information in, right? And then it's gonna take you to another page. You're gonna put your information again, so that way we can fully secure your seat. All you have to do is click that link right there or that button, and it's free to reserve your seat. And I hope to see you this Sunday, okay? So with that being said, let's talk about Palantir, all right? So this hammer candlestick, the way that it closes and the catalyst. So Palantir just announced that they're going to be investing $1 billion into the UK defensive something. What is it? What was the article? They're investing $1 billion into the UK defense program or something like that. Or infrastructure, I think it was. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was a catalyst, right? On top of this, we recovered from a key level, right, which was 161, which is our daily VWAP. And then 171 is the next level of resistance. So what I am looking at for next week contracts is if Palantir can get back through 170, right? My first target is 171, UK military specifically. Thank you, Zen. I couldn't remember the exact title. I've been up. It's 11:41 here for me, right? If we can get back through 170 and 171, it's likely that we can come back and see, let's see this level here, 176.38 and even 180.50. These are my levels. It's $27. I thought you said it was free. That is for the preparation kit. If you don't feel like you need the prep kit, don't grab it. How do you sign up on YouTube? My bad, Brandon. I forgot. My bad, y'all. I'll be forgetting that. I'll be having to type this link down below for YouTube. So if you guys are here on YouTube, use this link right here. Bada boom, bada bang. That is the link you want to use if you are on YouTube. So if you guys are on YouTube, that is how you register for the workshop right there. Okay. So these are the levels for Palantir. This is a great setup for next week. So the setup will be a hammer candlestick on the daily time frame, breaking a key resistance level at 171 with the catalyst, right? Targeting 176. So 175, 180 calls for next week can work for Palantir. Let's keep it going. Amazon has been in complete chop. Not really too worried about Amazon. Meta is another good one. So you got to fail 2 up on Meta right here. We need to see Meta break back above 781 before I would be interested in calls. So before I would get interested in trading this, I would want to see us break above 781 or break below 767. Other than that, I'm not touching it until those levels are broken. Nvidia. So basically China just put out a ban on certain companies buying certain Nvidia chips, which is a very, very big hit. So if you guys didn't know, Alibaba, which is a company out in China, is going to be producing AI chips that they can start using for AI companies or companies who need chips in China. Now, the reason this is so important is because it tells a story that the relationship between China and the US is not as good as we thought it was. With that type of ban, they're kind of just using Nvidia as like a pawn in this case scenario, where they're saying, hey, we'll just stop coming to you, we'll stop spending money with you, and we'll buy from ourselves. And what this will now do is give China an opportunity to be self-sufficient with the creation of AI chips. So we all know that the AI industry has been absolutely dominating. I think somebody said like 85% of the gains in the stock market is all based off of tech and AI companies, which is true. So if you look at pretty much every other sector, they're getting absolutely hammered. So with that being said, this is important. Why did you see Nvidia sell off? Right? We gapped down and sold off. The reason you seen the sell off is because of the catalyst. It's because of China placing a ban on companies buying Nvidia chips. So this is why you've seen this sell off. So what am I expecting to happen next? If we break through 168, it's likely that we could come back to about 165. Okay. But Nvidia is not something I'm looking to trade as of right now. TSM, you got a fail 2 down on a daily time frame, kind of just been holding these levels. Not really something I'm looking at trading right now. Baidu was a decent trade today. Oh my goodness, it completely flipped. So it triggered our puts entry in the beginning of the day and then triggered our calls entry at the end of the day, which you'd love to see. I sent this out to the Discord earlier. And then this is SPX. IWM. Daily time frame, massive recovery. Okay. What questions do you guys have? What questions do you guys have right now? How do you see the gap fill lines? I have this indicator called Lux Algo. I just have it turned off right now while we're charting. If I studied that video on YouTube about the strat, would I understand it? Yeah. That's why I posted it, so you can understand it. How is CoreWeave looking? Let's take a look. Can I get a link to your Discord? My Discord is currently closed right now. Sorry. We have fully hit capacity. Our goal is to quality over quantity. So we just want to give people the best experience possible. CoreWeave got a 3 up, failed 2 down. So it's kind of holding this level right here, this 115 level. CoreWeave would be good above 125. And then puts would be under 115. It could come back and see 107. I have Lux Algo as well. So on price action concepts. So on that one. Somebody look at GLD. So spot gold absolutely hammering it away. This is one of those companies I'll look at. Not companies. This is one of those stocks that I'll look at during a drawdown in the market when that time comes. When we start seeing the pullback that is destined to come, right? It's going to come. I don't know when, but it's going to happen. When it does happen, this is going to be one of those ones that I'll kind of watch to add more into my long-term portfolio. But as of right now on the daily time frame, you have this 3 bar. It could come back to 332 tomorrow, depending on if it holds or not. What time frame do you like to trade on? Me personally, I like to look at the 15-minute and the 30-minute, and then I take my entries off of higher time frames. So like my entry will be off of a daily or 4-hour or 2-hour. But I'll go down to like a 15 or a 30-minute. Have you ever profited off of a hype stock? I mean, I caught AMC back in like whatever year that was. That AMC run up, my brain is cooked right now. That AMC run up, I caught that move. That was absolutely crazy. My mom had caught GameStop. I caught Dogecoin. I have a video on my Instagram where I made $38,000 with Dogecoin. I turned $4,000 into $38,000 in 3 days with Dogecoin. Absolutely crazy. Go over SPX one more time. I missed you talking about it. I got cooked today because of it. I got you, bro. Let's take a look at SPX. So let's see here. All right. So SPX, MJ. So first thing is, definitely. Hold on one second. Oh, fuck it. We'll leave it. Definitely want to keep in mind, obviously we had FOMC, so not trading it up until the time that we got the data would have been important first off, right? Second, let's go down to the 15-minute time frame. This is a lot of choppiness. So what you would have likely wanted to do is wait until Powell was done speaking or wait until he starts talking. So when the rate cuts came out, that wasn't the real move because you got a pop, a fall, a pop again, and another fall before a recovery. So ideally, you would have wanted to wait until about 3 p.m., which is like around this candlestick here, right? You would have wanted to kind of wait until like a 3 p.m., which is around the time that Powell stopped speaking. for the actual move, because you got to let the market digest everything that happened. So in this particular scenario, right, you ended up having, like I said, a pop, and then we pulled back, and then popped again, and then we sold off again. And then this is the recovery, right? So we retested 65.50 or 65.51, and then we moved back to the upside. So yeah, you would have, I think the biggest thing is on the day like that, you would have wanted to wait until after Powell was done speaking. Yeah, I should have waited. Remember, I told you I was in 65.50 puts, but didn't get out fast enough. Yeah, one of those things is like, on those days, you got to kind of like just take, even if it doesn't completely hit your target, you just got to take profits where you see fit, because it can flip in a heartbeat or in a blink of an eye. HA candles, you talking about Heikanashi? I just don't personally trade them, me personally. Yeah, I personally don't trade Heikanashi candlesticks. Got it. Thank you, bro. No problem. No problem at all. Let me go ahead and do that. Bam. Get him out of there. Lift. A lift for a swing. Had a gap up. It's possible you could see a continuation. Filled this gap from a while ago. Let's go up to the weekly time frame. It doesn't look bad. I mean, lift can revisit 31.47. This is this level back here. It's possible we could come back and revisit 31.47. Yeah, we were like stuck in this range for a little minute. Say like right here, we were stuck between $9 and $17, which isn't, it's kind of crazy actually, now that I think about it. Aristotle got in leaps in April. That's lit. I know he's going crazy. So when there's a candle, when there's a hammer or an inverted one, the next candle is gonna go in the direction of the head. In most cases, not all the time. Nothing is ever 100%. That shit was $9. That's crazy. Yeah, it was absolutely nuts. Do you trade off failed twos, or what's your favorite strat setup? I trade off failed twos and threes. Those are two of my favorites. So we have some pretty decent setups for tomorrow. I think we'll see more price action tomorrow and Friday. I think today was just kind of the beginning. I think tomorrow and Friday will set the tone for the rest of September. So I still don't think we have a clear direction of where the market is going. Like, yeah, we got a rebound here, but we still got to hear unemployment claims tomorrow. So that's what people should really be watching out for, and how the market reacts to unemployment claims. But what is crazy is the fact that there's so many people out of a job. Like, there's this girl on Instagram who is making a series, and she's on month 7 of her applying to jobs every week and not getting hired. And it's kind of crazy to me, because it's like, Powell was talking about it, how there's less job hiring opportunities. Like, there's less companies looking to hire people, but there's also less people getting fired. So the moment that some of these sectors or some of these portions of companies become unuseful because of AI, I mean, those are going to be gone too. And then at that case scenario, I mean, in that point, what do we do? You know what I mean? Like, that's just something I've been thinking about. Not liking how the market moving this month. Yeah, it's been very tricky. It's been super tricky. I actually feel bad for a lot of people who are like just now learning how to trade and don't know what they're doing. They're absolutely getting cooked. Like, just getting torched. They're probably telling themselves trading's not for me and all this stuff. You just need the right strategy. You know what I'm saying? You need to be able to execute the right way. And that is why if you click this yellow button right here, I will be showing you how in a live trading workshop on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you have a 9-to-5 and you have a few $1,000s liquid and you want to learn how to trade the strat, smart money concepts, and how to build your account, click this yellow arrow or this little yellow button right there. Click that, put your information in, and reserve your free seat to the live trading workshop on Sunday. You can go ahead and go do it right now. I'll give you all 2 minutes to go ahead and fill it out. If you haven't already, I'll just sit here and answer questions. But I'll give you all 2 minutes to just go do it. So just click that button right there. Clap. Damn, hate to see it. Not facts. What else are you streaming on that not YouTube? TikTok and Twitch. What platform do you use to trade? Webull. I take all of my entries off of Webull. Can you point to it again? It's right here. Like if you're on TikTok, it's literally right there. Dropping gems. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ever thought of putting a team together? A team for what? Trading? What you mean a team? Oh, my bad, y'all. YouTube. Here, I'll type the link for y'all in YouTube. I'll put it in the description. I need to just pin it whenever I go live. That way people have it. But there it is right there. For those of you guys who are on YouTube, I just dropped it down below in the description. In the comments. Trading to help others? Nah. I got one other guy on my team in my Discord who sends out trades, but I don't want to have a bunch of people trading in my community, honestly. I'd rather just keep it with me and him and maybe one other person who's a little bit more on the leaps, like leap trades. But other than that, I don't know. I've seen too many groups fall apart because they have too many people and too many egos. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a very egoless person. So as soon as that shit comes into play, I'll be ready to fire people quick. Is trading the move? I don't know. It depends on the type of person you are. It depends on if you're going to make it work or not. Like, nothing is going to just work. It's just, are you the person to make it work? Nothing just works. It's either you make it work or you don't. How long have you been trading? Since 2021. I was off and on since then. What pair are we looking at? This is QQQ. Do you trade Webull from TradingView? Nah, I take my entries off my cell phone or off of another device, but I always watch my charts on TradingView. How often do you open up your Discord? Right now it's about once a month. Usually the slots fill, I would say like the first, it's been different lately. Sometimes it can take an hour for slots to fill. A couple months ago we opened it filled in like 10 minutes. Yeah, we open them out once a month, and this way we can just make sure the quality is as high as possible. Like, honestly, my Discord is not cheap though. Like, price wise, my Discord is not cheap. And like, people are always looking for the cheapest option. I am not the cheapest option. Let's just put that out there. Like, the level of education that you have is way exponentially more than what you pay me, which is why I close it. The Twitch view is way better. Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for the follow, Squid. Thank you, bro. Dan, thank you for the sub. Noob, thank you for the sub. Benji, thank you for the sub. Frilly, thank you for the sub. Antonio, thank you for the sub. Thank you, guys. All right, y'all. It is 12 o'clock right now, and I am completely crashing. I'm Red Bulled out. I can't handle it no more. I'm crashing. It's midnight, and I was supposed to finish recording this YouTube video, but I couldn't do it because my lights died and all types of stuff. I'm just making excuses, I guess. But if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys go ahead and hit the follow button. If you haven't already registered for the live trading workshop, this is the best time to go ahead and do so. You can either click this yellow button right here, or you can go click the link in my bio. If you're in here and you don't have as much capital and you still want to learn how to trade, you're like complete beginner. Like, you don't know what a share is, you don't know what an options contract is, you don't know what any of that means. What you can do is you can go to my account and you can go click the link in my bio. The second link in my link tree will take you to a free 7-hour course. This will get you up to date and get all the beginner friendly stuff out of the way. It's 7 hours long. You can watch it for 100% free. It's self-paced and you have lifetime access to it. So if you're a complete beginner and you have no money right now, go watch that. If you have a 9 to 5 and you have a few $1,000s liquid and you want to learn how to invest better, or not invest better, but you want to learn how to trade better, make sure you guys attend the live workshop on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. But other than that, make sure you guys go sub on YouTube, Dantes Akram on YouTube, and hit the follow button if you're here on TikTok. But that is pretty much it for today's live. I'm crashing, I'm tired, I need to go to sleep. I love you guys dearly, and I will see you guys on the next live, which is probably going to be tomorrow. I'll probably live trade tomorrow with y'all. So yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow if we end up live trading.